Hi, I'm Mike at sourdoughlome.com and bakewithmike.com. We're trying to use Professor Calvel's 2.5-day process to create a sourdough starter. This will be into the second day, and it is the third feeding. About 5 p.m. if you've been doing it at the same time we have. So, it's been in our Broden Taylor proofer and in a rather large container. It has puffed up dramatically. It's light, it's fluffy, and it's quite large. So, let's dump this on the work surface, and then I'll clean the bowl again. I don't know what it is about flies and sourdough. Flies love sourdough, and as a result, you should probably keep it covered, or you may wind up with more life in your sourdough than you really wanted. I mentioned that because I just noticed a fly that I hadn't known we had in the house buzzing around. Okay, I've gotten the sourdough out, and I'm going to clean the container, and then we'll get on with this exciting project. Okay, the bowl's been cleaned out. It probably doesn't absolutely need to be, but it sure does look better when it's all nice and clean. We're going to take 300 grams of this starter and put it in the bowl. Again, we're going to discard the rest, and I would not recommend using it for something else because it's still a science fair project that hasn't come to its completion. I feel better about it than I did this morning, but it's still not ready for prime time. Okay, 300 grams. Now I'm going to get rid of the discard starter. It is much softer and puffier than it was before. We're going to do pretty much the same thing we did before, but we're not adding malt extract. Malt extract is used for the first 2 feedings and not after that. So we'll add 180 grams of water. And then we'll stir it up. And again, while it's thinner and softer than before, it still resists being stirred up. Once again, it is foaming. And once again, it doesn't really want to dissolve. Okay, we've got 1 gram of salt again. And our 300 grams of all-purpose or bread flour. You can use either one. Once again, with removing a little more than half the starter and adding all white or all-purpose flour or bread flour, we're going to get a lighter starter, which is what we want. If we add more of the rye flour, we're going to be adding a fresh load of microorganisms we don't want. There's many, many, many different kinds of microorganisms on the rye or whole wheat flour, and we're really only interested in about 2 of them. So through natural selection, the bacteria we want will kill off the ones we don't want, making a safe product and an active starter. Okay, let's dump it out again so we can knead it. It's much more incorporated than it was. There's a little bit of flour in the bottom that hasn't been incorporated, so we'll scrape it out. And now we'll knead all this together. going together and becoming much more homogeneous than last time. Though I am still seeing areas of gray and white, and that's still okay. It's not the end of the world. Get back there. Okay, I think we're good enough. Okay. Looks like we have about between 3 and 4 cups of starter. We'll see where we are next time around. Now the timing on Professor Calvel's starter process is fairly finicky. Okay, we've done a 22-hour and a 7-hour, and now we have one more 7-hour to go, which will put us up to midnight, if you're following along with our timeline. You can do it anytime you want, just so long as you keep the spacing correct. And depends on your personal schedule what is least inconvenient. So I'm going to cover this, put it back in the proofer for 7 hours, and we'll see you at midnight.